how you doing? Look who it is. See who it is. It is you. Well, welcome back to my channel, everybody. Chris Gault, Healthy Living with Chris Gault. And today we're going to talk about how to lose weight by holding yourself accountable. And we're going to get right to it. Alright, I also want to just mention that you need to watch the full video to get the full effect, because all these tips are going to tie in at the end, and so you need to watch the whole video in order to get all the action steps you need to take action if you really are serious about losing weight, which if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you are. The first tip that I have, getting right into it, is you've got to know your why. And I know I just did a video on this last week, but it's so important. Like, why are you doing this? So let's do an example. Let's say you want to lose 60 pounds. Your doctor's telling you got to lose 60 pounds to get healthy. That's a pretty good why. You're going to say, you know, I need to do this because I need to get healthy, and my doctor's telling me. A better why, or a stronger why, would be, I need to lose 60 pounds in order, because my doctor's telling me, you know, in order to live a long, happy, healthy life, I need to do this. And I just got 2 grandkids coming along, and I want to see them grow up. And so it's a very strong why. I want to be there for them, and I also want to be active to be able to play with them as they grow up. And so in order to do that, I need to lose those 60 pounds, and that is a lot stronger than me eating a cupcake. And that's a strong why. So you need to know your why. You've got to know why you're doing it. It could be that, you know, you're 30 years old, you just got divorced, you want to put yourself back out there, you want to look your very best, feel your very best, you want to go hiking, you want to go biking, whatever. That's another great reason why you want to do it. So you have to have a strong why, and as long as you have a strong why, you'll attain your goal. So that's tip number 1. So tip number 2 is, once you know your why, you got to incorporate that into a goal. So you have to set your goal, and it has to be realistic, but it should be aggressive as well. So let's say your goal is, I want to lose 60 pounds, like we just said. So you could say, well, I want to lose 60 pounds in 1 week. And that's probably unrealistic for most people. They're not going to lose 60 pounds in 1 week. But what you could say is, I want to lose 2 pounds a week, and I want to get to 60 pounds. And you can do that very easily. So that is a good, solid, realistic, and aggressive goal, because it'll take you about 7.5 months to get there, and in 7.5 months you'll lose 60 pounds. That is a great goal, and so you can set it up that way. Now just know that, you know, if you have 300 pounds to lose versus if you have, you know, 10 pounds to lose, losing, you know, how many pounds per week is going to change, because it's going to be easier for someone who's heavier to lose weight. It's a smaller percentage of their body. So just keeping that in mind when you're setting up those goals, so you set up a goal that's right for you. The next tip is one that's going to be one of the toughest ones, because a lot of people really feel uncomfortable and afraid to do this. But you have to just kick fear in the face, and you have to do this. And if you don't do this, there's a good chance you're not going to end up succeeding. And that is, you have to share your goal with others, like your family and your friends. And one great way to do it is to share it on social media. So like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. I know a lot of people say, well, I don't do any of those things. But if you don't put yourself out there, and I know it's a little scary, but if you don't put yourself out there, it's very hard to hold yourself accountable. Because if you do that, what's going to happen is that others are going to watch your journey. And you also want to make sure that you are going to be putting updates up every week. So don't weigh yourself every day, because that's just going to drive you crazy, because weight does go up and down. And also, just to throw this out, because now we're talking about that, is make sure that you weigh yourself consistently at the same time. So if it's in the morning right after you wake up and you go to the bathroom and you don't have any clothes on, do that all the time. Don't weigh yourself once in the morning, though, after you did all that, and then the next time you weigh yourself is right after dinner, when you just stuffed yourself or drank down a gallon of water, because that's not apples to apples, and weight will fluctuate. So make sure you're weighing yourself the same each time, and that way you'll have the right weight. So that was just an offshoot. Sorry about that. Getting back to the tip, though, is make sure that you share it with them, and then let's say you don't want to weigh yourself every day, like I said, but you want to weigh yourself every week. And so let's say it's every Friday. You're going to post up there, this is where I did this week. And so what's going to happen is it's going to make you think twice about having that cupcake or not, because you're going to say, you know, I can have that cupcake, but I got to put that post up tomorrow. I'm not sure if I want to have that cupcake because my long-term goal is more important, and I'm going to be sharing that goal with everybody, and I'm going to be putting it out there. So I'm going to make sure that I don't have that cupcake. So make sure that you share your goals out there, and it's similar to like what an actor does. So like when Chris Evans plays Captain America, it's similar because he knows that, okay, I have to start filming that movie a year from now. So in a year from now, I have to look the part. I have to look like Captain America because millions of people are going to watch that movie, and the last thing he wants is to have millions of people watch someone who's got a beer belly, right? So he's going to make sure that he is doing whatever he can to look the part. And so the millions of people that are watching him are holding him accountable. It's just kind of similar to when you put it on Facebook. So, or on social, on Instagram or Twitter or whatever one you use, or all of them, you pick it. So that is a great way to hold yourself accountable, have others help you through that. The next one is to, and I'm going to grab it, journalize your journey. Write everything down. Every day you're going to write down what you eat, what you did active, what you didn't do. You're going to put it down, and then every week you're going to write down your weight. Now, why are you doing that? It's because it's going to hold you accountable. So when you're at that party and that cupcake's sitting there calling you, you're going to say, well, I can eat that cupcake, but I got to put it on the pad here. I got to write it in my journal, and I don't want to write it in my journal. So you know what? I'm not going to eat that cupcake because, and as long as you're honest, you got to be honest about the journal. You can't leave things out. It's your journal. You're just lying to yourself if you don't put it on there. So again, this is all about, you know, being honest with yourself. You're not going to put that you're not going to eat that cupcake because you don't want to put it on. So you're going to win a lot of those battles of, do I eat it or not? Get yourself a journal every day, and then every week you're going to journal your weight, and you're going to see that weight come off. So I think that's a good one to do. So make sure you do that. The next one is, and a lot of people fall into this, is they don't have the patience to get through to their goal. So 7.5 months is not that long of a time, but there's so many people out there just want to get there in a week or two. Oh my God, I haven't lost all the weight in a week or two. I guarantee you, at 60 pounds, you didn't put it on in one day or 1 week. It took a long time to put that weight on. So how can you expect to take that weight off quickly? It's going to take time, and it's going to take dedication, but you're going to be there in 7.5 months as opposed to not being there if you do it, and you do it consistently, and you have the patience, and you don't quit. Because that's the last thing you want to do, is you don't want to quit. Because that's how most people fail, is they quit before they get to the point where they can succeed. And that can be with anything in your life, not just weight loss. It can be with anything. So just make sure that you have the patience, and you know that you'll get there eventually, but it's not going to happen in one day. So the next tip is when you are presented with a tough decision, like for instance, a friend offers you a cupcake. Now, I'm going to jump off the tip for a second because I'm going to talk about it. If a friend offers you a cupcake, and they're going to know that you're on your journey to lose weight because you're going to be posting it, you're going to be telling all your friends and your family members, and you're going to be posting it on social media. So if one of your friends still, after all that, offers you a cupcake or something that you shouldn't be eating or drinking, then they're not a true friend, and you need to drop them. And I know it sounds harsh, I know it sounds tough, and I have other videos on that you can look at too, but if someone is not supporting you in your goals in life, they are not a true friend, and you need to drop them. And I know it sounds, like I said, I know it sounds tough, but that's what you got to do. So getting back to the tip. So sorry about that, it was a little side thing there. But getting back to the tip, if someone does offer you a cupcake, or you really want that glass of wine, just be mindful about it. Don't just do it mindlessly. It's so easy to mindlessly then just grab it and boom, you know, you've already gotten it and you've already lost that battle. be mindful. So what I mean by that is you want to think about it first, challenge yourself and say, you know what, if I eat that cupcake or drink that glass of wine, I have to put it in the book, I have to put it on social media, and it's going to wreck my weight loss in the week when I weigh myself. So, maybe it's not that important to me because I want to get to that long-term goal. And what was my why again? Oh yeah, that's right. I want to lose 60 pounds so I can be healthy and I can enjoy my kids. And that's going to be much more than what that cupcake tastes like anyway. So you want to think about that. You want to challenge yourself, and then you can make that decision on what you want to do. But I think if you go through that, you probably will make better decisions. The longer-term benefit is always going to trump the short-term desire. Just remember that. It's always going to be better. Always make sure that longer-term benefit is more important than that short-term desire. And again, that cupcake, after you eat it, you're going to be like, I wish I didn't eat this stupid cupcake because it didn't even taste that good. And now I just maybe ruined the week of weight loss. Just be mindful about making decisions and you'll make better decisions. The next tip is have confidence in yourself. You got this. It's all up to you. It's your decision. You are completely responsible for everything that goes on within your body. You can control what goes in your body, what kind of activity you do that week or that day. That is up to you. It's not like the weather where you can't control it. Now, there's a lot of things you can't control. Like let's take the weather. If it's going to rain that day or if it's going to be sunny that day, you can't control that. So you might as well not even try to control that. But you can control what you do with your life. And so it's all up to you. You just have to have the confidence to know that if I really truly want to lose that 60 pounds, it's not up to anybody else. It's up to me, and I can do it, and I will do it. So just know that. So moving on to the next tip is the best way to be successful with all those things I just mentioned. Some people, it's still kind of tough. Just like some people go to a gym and they can work out, and there's other people who go to the gym and they feel lost and they need a personal trainer or a coach. So the next tip I have is the best way to be successful is to get a health coach. So if you get a health coach, you're going to be much better. And a health coach will work with you to help you obtain your goal. And having a health coach, or any kind of coach, or a life coach or whatever, is going to increase your chances of success by 80%. I mean, that is a huge percent. I mean, think about that. 80%. I mean, so getting a coach, you can't do it on your own. Getting a coach is going to help. Now, I just want to throw this out. My wife, Coach Robyn, Health Coach Robyn, is a health coach, and she can help. And I'm going to put up here her contact information. Is through Facebook, and you can always messenger that way. And then she'll set up a phone call. It's completely free, so you don't have to worry about paying anything, or there's no credit card you have to do or anything like that. It's completely free for the consultation. And then if you want to use her services, you can go ahead and do that. So I will also put that contact information in the description below so you have it, and that way you can contact her if you want to, and you can go that route. But remember, it's 80% success, more chance of being successful if you have a health coach. She's a great health coach. She's helped so many people get to their healthy goals. And you can go on to her Facebook page too, the one I gave you, and you can actually just scroll through it and you can see who she's helped and all the great stuff that she does in keeping people healthy. So, and that doesn't cost anything either. You're just browsing her Facebook page, so anyone can do that. I know you can do this. You have it in you. You just have to want it. You just have to have a strong why. And with all that said, I just have one last tip, and that is do it now. Don't wait. Because if you always say tomorrow, believe me, tomorrow never comes. I mean, it's so easy, and there's so many people who say, well, I'll do that tomorrow, and then tomorrow you're saying, well, I got a little busy, so I'll do it tomorrow, don't worry. And then the next day, you know what, I'll just do it tomorrow. I don't really feel like doing it now. And the next day, tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow never comes. So do it today, and that way you will be on your start. You'll be starting already your journey on getting to where you want to be, and you'll be much better off than if you just keep pushing it off. You don't want to do that. So today, you just want to either go to Robyn's Facebook page, look at it, Facebook Messenger, and you can start your journey, or take those other tips that I've mentioned and start implementing those things now. I mean, buy your journal, or it's actually just a notebook, so it doesn't cost really anything, but get a notebook, start writing in it, start doing all those things, come up with your goals, come up with your why. Start doing that today so that you can get started now, today. All right, I think I beat that one into the ground. The last thing I want to say, it's not a tip, but it's just that you only live once. Make it count. And I know some people are going to come to you and say, yeah, you only live once, so have that beer, have that cupcake. But they're not going to be as happy when they're still heavy and not being able to move around that well, especially when they get older in their 70s, 80s, and they have to be in a wheelchair because they're not taking care of themselves, or they don't even make it that old because they had a heart attack, because they're just putting so much pressure on their heart because they're so overweight. Just know that you live only once, so you might as well make it count. You might as well live the best possible version of you that you can, and that's what I'm trying to get at with all my videos that I put out there. With all that said, I would just love to know what your why is and what your weight goals are. So if you can put those in the comments below, and if you do that, you're already starting to do one of the tips, right? Where you're sharing your goal in social media. And if you could do that, that would be great, not only for you, but also for everyone else who's thinking about doing this too. And they can see what you're doing, and that can inspire them maybe to do it as well. And I would ask that if you do like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate if you do that. And also, it helps this video get pushed out into YouTube world, and that way it gets shared among other people who can see it, who can use it. And also, make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and ring that bell notification, and that way you'll be notified every time I drop a video, which I drop one every Thursday and I drop one every Sunday. At least I'm doing that currently. So make sure you do that, and that way you can continue that healthy living journey. And make sure you share this with anyone who can use it. So if you know anybody who can use healthy living videos in their life, make sure you share it with them and share the channel with them so they can join all the fun as well. And for more tips on how to live a happier, healthier life, 2 videos are going to pop up on this screen. And you can click on one of those and you can continue your happy, healthy journey and keep it going and just keep watching. And I will see you all soon.